He was a bright, handsome medical student with a promising future. Philip Markoff excelled in his studies, impressing both his professors and peers with his dedication and intelligence. He was the kind of student who seemed destined for greatness, someone who could have made significant contributions to the medical field. He was engaged to be married, a young man with everything to live for. His fiancée, Megan McAllister, was equally accomplished, and together they appeared to be the perfect couple. They were planning a future filled with love, success, and happiness, a future that seemed almost too good to be true. But beneath the surface of Philip Markoff's charming persona lurked a dark secret, a hidden side that no one could have suspected. Despite his outward appearance of normalcy, there were signs of a troubled mind, signs that would only become apparent in hindsight. A sinister double life that would soon shock the nation. Markoff's descent into darkness was gradual, a slow unraveling of his psyche that led him down a path of violence and deception. The contrast between his public persona and his hidden life was stark and disturbing. Markoff wasn't just an ordinary student, he was the Craigslist Killer, a name that would become infamous. He used the anonymity of the internet to mask his true intentions, creating a facade of trustworthiness to lure his victims. His method was chillingly calculated, exploiting the vulnerabilities of those who sought services through Craigslist. A predator who used the internet to prey on innocent victims. His actions were premeditated, each step carefully planned to avoid detection. He was a master of manipulation, using his charm and intelligence to gain the trust of his unsuspecting targets. In the spring of 2009, a string of violent robberies and a murder, all linked to Craigslist ads, terrorized the Boston area. The crimes were brutal and senseless, leaving the community in a state of fear and confusion. The police were under immense pressure to solve the case and bring the perpetrator to justice. All linked to Craigslist ads terrorized the Boston area. The investigation was complex, involving multiple jurisdictions and a myriad of clues that needed to be pieced together. Detectives worked tirelessly, following leads and interviewing witnesses in an effort to identify the killer. The victims, mostly women, had advertised massage services on the popular classifieds website, hoping to earn a living or supplement their income. They had no idea that their ads would attract the attention of a predator, someone who would exploit their trust and turn their lives into a nightmare, unaware that they were stepping into the sights of a cunning and ruthless criminal. Markoff's attacks were swift and brutal, leaving his victims traumatized and the community in shock. The case of the Craigslist Killer remains a chilling reminder of the dangers that can lurk behind a seemingly innocent online ad. Outwardly, Philip Markoff was the epitome of normalcy. He came from a respectable family, excelled academically, and was engaged to his college sweetheart, Megan McAllister. He blended seamlessly into the bustling environment of Boston University School of Medicine, his ambition and intelligence earning him the admiration of peers and professors alike. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, a darker side festered. Driven by motives unknown, Markoff was living a double life, transforming from an exemplary student into a predator under the cover of anonymity provided by the internet. The first attack came in April 2009. Tricia Leffler, a 29-year-old masseuse, had advertised her services on Craigslist. A man, later identified as Markoff, responded to her ad and arranged a meeting at a luxurious Boston hotel. What began as a seemingly ordinary appointment quickly turned terrifying. Markoff, armed with a stun gun and duct tape, attacked Leffler, robbing her of her valuables and attempting to bind her. Fortunately, Leffler fought back with surprising ferocity, managing to break free and escape from the hotel room, alerting authorities to Markoff's crimes. Just days after the attack on Leffler, the body of Jalissa Brisman, a 25-year-old aspiring model and dancer from New York City, was discovered in a room at the Copley Marriott Hotel in Boston. Like Leffler, Brisman had advertised massage services on Craigslist and had arranged a meeting with a client who matched Markoff's description. This time, however, there was no escape. Markoff, driven by a cold-bloodedness that belied his outward normalcy, had brutally murdered Brisman, shooting her 3 times at close range. Section 5. Caught on camera. As fear gripped the city of Boston and the investigation into the Craigslist crimes intensified, detectives caught a break. Surveillance footage from both the Copley Marriott and the Westin Copley Place, where Leffler had been attacked, captured images of a tall blonde man matching Markoff's description. The images, though grainy, provided investigators with a crucial lead. The man in the footage was seen carrying a distinctive duffel bag, a detail that would prove instrumental in linking Markoff to the crimes. Section 6. A Web of Deceit. The net closed in on Philip Markoff on April 20, 2009. The young medical student who seemed to have a bright future ahead of him was suddenly thrust into the limelight for all the wrong reasons. The arrest was the culmination of an intense investigation that had spanned several weeks, involving multiple law enforcement agencies working tirelessly to piece together the puzzle of his crimes. He was apprehended by authorities while driving with his fiancée, Megan McAllister, en route to Foxwoods Resort Casino in Connecticut. The couple had planned a weekend getaway, unaware that their journey would be abruptly halted by flashing lights and the sound of sirens. Megan, who had no idea about Philip's dark side, was left in a state of shock and disbelief as her fiancé was taken into custody. The arrest sent shockwaves through the nation, shattering the illusion of the clean-cut medical student. Friends, family, and colleagues were stunned as the news broke, unable to reconcile the image of the diligent student they knew with the heinous acts he was accused of committing. The media frenzy that followed only added to the public's fascination and horror. Inside Markoff's car and apartment, investigators discovered a trove of incriminating evidence, including the gun used to murder Julissa Brisman, Leffler's stolen ID, and various other items that linked him to the crimes. The meticulous search revealed a chilling array of tools and documents that painted a picture of a man who had carefully planned his actions, leaving little to chance. And the distinctive duffel bag seen in the surveillance footage. This bag, which had been a key piece of evidence, was unmistakable and further solidified the case against Markoff. The footage showed him carrying the bag at various crime scenes, making it an undeniable link to his activities. The evidence painted a damning picture of a seemingly ordinary young man leading a double life of deceit and violence. To the outside world, Philip Markoff was a promising medical student with a bright future. But behind closed doors, he harbored a dark and dangerous side that ultimately led to his downfall. The courtroom scenes that followed were filled with drama and emotion as the true extent of his actions came to light, leaving a lasting impact on all who followed the case. Section 7. Justice Denied. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, Philip Markoff vehemently maintained his innocence. His case quickly became a media sensation, drawing attention from all corners of the country. The public was divided, with some believing in his guilt, while others were convinced of his innocence. The courtroom was often filled with tension, as both the prosecution and defense presented their arguments with fervor. He awaited trial in Boston's Suffolk County Jail, facing charges of murder, armed robbery, and kidnapping. The weight of these accusations hung heavily over him, and the anticipation of the trial was palpable. The media camped outside the jail, eager for any updates, while the public speculated on the outcome. Inside the jail, Markoff spent his days in isolation, reflecting on the events that had led him to this point. However, the judicial process was cut short in a shocking turn of events. Just as the trial was about to commence, news broke that would send shockwaves through the community. The anticipation and build-up were abruptly halted, leaving many questions unanswered and a sense of unfinished business. On August 15, 2010, 1 year after his arrest, Markoff was found dead in his jail cell. The discovery was made during a routine check, and the scene was both tragic and disturbing. Emergency responders were quickly called, but it was too late. The news of his death spread rapidly, causing a media frenzy and a flurry of speculation about the circumstances. He had crafted a makeshift shiv and used it to take his own life, denying the victims' families the chance to face him in court and seek a measure of justice for the pain he had inflicted. The families were left in a state of grief and frustration, feeling robbed of the opportunity to see justice served. The courtroom, once a place of hope for resolution, now stood as a symbol of a justice system that had failed them. The tragic end to Markoff's life left a lasting impact on all those involved, a stark reminder of the complexities and challenges within the judicial process. Section 8. The Aftermath. The case of Philip Markoff, the Craigslist killer, sent ripples of shock and fear throughout the country. It exposed the dark underbelly of the internet, highlighting how online platforms designed to connect people could also be exploited by predators seeking to harm the innocent. In the wake of the tragedies, Craigslist faced intense scrutiny for its role in facilitating the crimes. The website, once known for its casual approach to online classifieds, implemented stricter security measures, including enhanced user verification and monitoring systems, in an attempt to prevent similar tragedies from occurring. Section 9. A Dark Legacy. The case of Philip Markoff serves as a chilling reminder of the deceptive nature of online anonymity and the potential for violence that lurks beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. It is a stark reminder to approach online interactions with caution, to be aware of the potential risks, and to prioritize personal safety above all else. Though Markoff's suicide brought an abrupt end to his reign of terror, the questions and anxieties surrounding online safety persist, serving as a somber reminder of the ever-present dangers lurking in the digital age.